at the refrigerator.
We live. We are live.
Yeah, at the refrigerator.
We live. We live. This is the chop
We
up. We
out here.
back. And we back. And we back. And we back.
I know it's been a
Man,
while
what happened
since
to
our
Chance? What happened to Chance the Rapper, man?
There's like a
You doing
video. It's like, I
politics?
love
You
my
investing?
wife. I love God. I love my wife. Like it's like a video of Mike him because that's how he raps about these days. Jumpy, what it do? What's good with it? What's good?
Hey, y'all know how it go.
In
When y'all
here.
come in, hit the like button.
Bam.
Say what's up. Swag Surf, Ethereal Beauties in the building. Good evening, ma'am.
What's up with
Thank you for
it?
joining us. Thank you for joining us.
Figure out the right way. Jada is in the building.
About it. Polo
What's
on
good
my
with
body.
it?
Hey,
Astro, Jada, Astro, what's good?
we fresh off of all type of celebrations, vacations.
Pinky
You know what I'm
Promise
saying?
Life, what's up? Absolutely.
Consciously coming off of that anniversary. Anniversary. Yeah. Did you sing it?
I feel like me and Toya did a video my first anniversary, and I feel like it's become like, you know what I'm saying, a part of my anniversary.
Gotta do it. Today is a special day.
Y'all
Not just anything.
go check it out. Go double tap it if y'all want to show some anniversary love. I know it's on the IG right now. Go to Consciously IG and double tap some anniversary biz that's on there. And I ain't been back with y'all since my birthday, so it's definitely since before my birthday, I think.
Yes.
So shoot.
Yeah, we did the ask the chop up. Just me and Lee. It was pretty good too. We knocked it out real quick. I think it was like 40 minutes.
Yeah,
we didn't really stay too long. Yeah. But we knocked it out. Y'all know how it go. When it come in, make sure y'all say what's up, where y'all from, where we getting it in. You know what I mean? Back on a Monday. Tonight we got some interesting topics. I know how it go. Did y'all watch the BET Awards?
You ask, I don't. Well, if you.
I'm asking the people. I'm asking the people. I was asking the people. I'm asking the chat. Did y'all watch the BET Awards? Because we gonna talk about it.
What's up, Jaleesa?
Hey, Ethereal Beauty. He got him and Faith Lee got that 90s R&B love.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? That 90s R&B love.
The 90s R&B love, huh?
That classic. That Teddy Riley shit.
We almost at 100. We at 80 today.
Yeah.
We at 80.
Mm-hmm.
So we might got to do something special for 100. I mean, we're going to think of something amazing for that, but y'all got to think of it. You know what I'm saying? We done celebrated days like this where we celebrating personal moments in our lives, anniversaries, birthdays, pride. Yeah, we done been through a lot of stuff with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely got to find a way to commemorate that.
And we really on some short change and shit because niggas was really like, all right, we need to start numbering this shit, and we're not about to go back and count. So let's just start at 50. We just like let's start at 50 and just start knocking them out. You feel me? So we at 80, we getting it in. But we do got a few of y'all in here. I mean,
you say what's up to Jennifer and Malcolm real quick. We had to shout them out. Mississippi is in the building real quick.
Mississippi,
without a doubt, the Silk.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to my boy Silk. And he I think he up in like Washington or something.
Yeah,
Oregon. Oregon. We got a homie, Nick. That nigga was from Mississippi. So you know how niggas do. We just called that nigga Silk.
Yeah. When you come to a point where you come from a place that a lot of people don't interact with, you just are that place. You are where you from. So
right. Hey, anybody that's watching on Facebook, if y'all fuck with Dr. Dancy, tag him in this. Matter of fact, George, share and tag Dr. Dancy because he has some of them. He had some pointed criticism of the BET Awards.
Oh, definitely.
That he pointed out that I thought was extremely interesting.
You gotta share the what you call my wife. I mean, Izzy got my phone.
Oh yeah, baby girl.
Definitely, I see you in the comments talking about the R&B playlist. Definitely shoot me that. I want to see it. I want to hear what's going on. Lee said he wanted to. So, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and shoot that out to the peoples. And Cody, what's up? Good evening to you. What's popping? It's good to have you in the building. What's going on?
Yeah.
We can get started whenever.
Yeah. So, with that being said, y'all know how it go. Toy, you said you bringing it in, right?
Gotcha.
All right, well, we're gonna start the show the way we always start the show. Let's go.
Me, my guys, we really live. Lord, forgive me, pay my tithes. Please don't have me reach inside. And that's in the console. Keep the semi when I ride. Lit off Henny when I drive. In the city, we gon' slide. Bet I be there pronto.
What's up? What's up? What's up? It is the Chop Up Show last Monday in the month of June 2020. You know what it is. It's your girl Toya G in the building. Happy to be back with y'all. Celebrated my birthday a couple weeks ago, so I've been out the mix consciously. Plug have been holding y'all down in the meantime and between time. I'm so happy about that because the spot has been kept warm.
So we got to keep it going.
Real quick before I slide it over, I got to shout out M and I got to shout out Nessa Marie. Listeners of the show, definitely good Instagram buddies of mine that showed me love and hit the Cash App, hit the Venmo for the kid. So I definitely want to make sure that I show love just because y'all interacting with posts. Y'all always say what's up and definitely show me love. So I got to make sure I show y'all some love too. Thank y'all so much. And who I'm with? Who I got? Lee?
Well, you got
man. It's your boy George Lee, aka Conscious Lee. Don't forget the Lee. I'm over here feeling groovy like an Austin Power movie. A little tired too. I've been up since about 4:45 this morning. You know what I'm saying? Caught me a flight back from New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Flew through Houston, drove back from Houston to Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? Finally back in Oklahoma. But you know, GeorgeLeeSpeaks.com is where you can get it at, man. Hey, and shout out to you feel me, the new bookings that's came through. I'm saying that's come through Florida Memorial University, and you know what I'm saying, some other places, man. Big shout out to y'all. Looking forward to pulling up.
Hey, love it.
Yo, it's the political plug, Damo. Y'all know how it go. I mean, I haven't been anywhere like everybody. I got a 6-month-old, so we've been in the crib. We've been getting to know each other pretty good, but it's been a good time. You feel me? So shout out to all that. I do have to formally apologize to Conscious Lee. I didn't think he was gonna make it. I ain't gonna lie. I thought we was gonna have to reschedule the show for tonight. And I kind of was very pushy about that. Like, yeah, nigga, we'll see. But my nigga showed up. He's here. He's energetic. Like you said, he's feeling good. So let's get it in. My apologies, bro.
Yeah, I find my glasses.
And up on the man in the text. I said, goodness gracious. Like,
yeah, like, all right, we're going to see. Like,
what
up, Vance? Shout out to you, Vance.
Definitely. Noel in the building. All of that. Malik, you back up in here. Thank you so much. Huey even got a shout out. Pinky Promise Life says, shout out to Hugh. Shout out to Hugh. We definitely
shout out to the future.
You know what I'm saying? We love it. But we can go ahead and slide into the business of the hour and get into a snapshot real quick. I think that means we're going to turn it over to Conscious Lee.
Yeah, man. So unless you've been living under a rock, you probably have heard that Derek Chauvin, I feel like I'm gonna purposely mispronounce his last name because you know what I'm saying. Fuck that guy. Derek Chauvin, you feel me? Finally got sentenced. You know what I'm saying? He got sentenced.
You say Chauvin?
Yeah, 22.5 years. Derek Chauvin got sentenced 22.5 years. My first question is: do you think justice was served? Why not? Do you think justice was served?
We love
Go ahead, tell you.
We love you too, Jaleesa. And do I think justice was served? I'm not gonna lie. On a level of optimism, absolutely not. Right? In terms of what we know is possible, what should have been done, the expectations we want to have from shit that works the way that it was designed to work. No. From a level of realism, from absolute reality, 2 feet on the ground. When I rolled over and looked at that notification and saw the conviction that was turned over, I was satisfied. And that's because I got to live in reality at some point. I can want everything that I want. But when I look at 22.5, the fact that he's going to have to serve 15 at least, but knowing that the vast majority, dare I say 80-90% of the people who commit crime against individuals, people in the community, most of the time go back to work. They get paid vacations and leaves and shit. Knowing that that's the conclusion most of the time, I'll take 15 guaranteed. I got to. So
okay,
yeah,
interesting.
And this actually, I can't believe I just thought about this in terms of topics when we was doing like the pre-show discussions. I'm first gonna say this: do I think justice was served? No, because this is an instance where the justice system took a man's life. It ain't really no, you know what I'm saying, compensation for that. So like, they locking him up for 22 years. mean, I think what annoys me the most about this is that they have this that third degree murder charge. You feel me? That makes it murder, but only in this state. You feel me? So we can't really look at this as like, oh, this could be the new norm. You feel me? Because this murder, the type of murder charge he was convicted of, really doesn't exist in too many other places. Right. Anywhere else, this would have been some form of manslaughter.
Y'all got to remember, Minneapolis is the progressive police. They are in that group of people moving forward to try to hold these officers accountable, especially since that one black man shot that white lady or whatever, and it was outcry about that. They've been working to rehabilitate that police services, so that's absolutely right.
Yeah. So you have that that aspect of it, right? That it's like, man, this happened, but it's not gonna mean shit for nothing else.
Yeah.
Like if we being 100% honest, Derek Chauvin getting 22 years ain't gonna mean shit for no other cop. This is not gonna be no type of precedent. It like structurally it can't. Yeah, like structurally it can't. But it makes me think about what's happened more recently in the news, where you had the brother in Florida that shot the cop. That, you know what I'm saying? The brother got pulled over, and it's like, we think about these type of instances when black people engaging with cops, and whenever it reaches a certain point for black people, it's a zero-sum game. Zero-sum. And it ain't nothing you go, like, for example, you had the incident with Derek Chauvin, right? Yeah, Derek Chauvin go to jail, but he had to die for Derek Chauvin to go to jail. After Derek Chauvin had a record of doing all type of hoe shit, like all type of fucked up police shit. Somebody had to die for him to go to jail. In the instance with this, I think Othal, or I can't remember the brother's name, that shot the cop in Florida because he felt uncomfortable. Regardless of, if the cop made him fear for his life and it caused him to shoot him, he's not go like, that's still like his life is over. You feel me? Because even if the cop was in the wrong for being overly aggressive, putting the man in a situation where he feared for his life because of things that we see, like with George Floyd, like with other instances throughout this country, he's not going, like, that wasn't a right that he had as a black man. Right. Like, you can't be scared enough for the police to kill him.
Exactly.
So so when we talk about justice, or to defend yourself, right?
And you know what's crazy? I'm gonna go ahead and I want to throw in another example real quick, just in case, because I mean, we're talking about instances of police brutality. I don't know if y'all saw the video of the woman who was pregnant driving down a freeway. I forget where it was, but hit the lights on her, and the shoulder was too small for her to pull over. Right. So literally, and she's a woman, right? Wanted to go to a well-lit place, wanted to go ahead and pull over off of an exit. And because she didn't pull over in a quick enough manner for the police, they basically did a pit maneuver on her, bumped her the back side of her car flipped over. Fortunately, she lived. But pregnant woman in a car hit with a pit maneuver because she didn't pull over as quick as you wanted her to. So these measures of lethality, right, where the police feel like the situation is out of their control and they had to respond quickly. The justifications for that shit really only work one way, and the weapon is not only always a gun, right? They using it.
They ain't had that same energy January 6th, huh? They ain't had that same energy January 6th.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? Not
at all. Where some police actually died.
You said, huh?
Some police actually died. But just to cap off what I was saying though, so it's like when we talk about justice, when with black people, when it escalates, it's a zero-sum game. We fucked regardless. There's no recourse. It's like there is no justice that could come out of this. You feel me? Like when you're already labeled the criminal, when it's always gonna already fall back on you, there is no justice out of any of these conversations. So it's like, it is what it is. A white man going to jail.
Yeah. Hey, me being from Texas, man, I got cousins that's doing, you feel me, life, you know what I'm saying? For, you know what I mean, they ain't kill nobody, you feel me? I got cousins doing 50 years for selling dope, you know what I'm saying? I got, you know what I mean? So I just feel like, I know there's different states, different laws, and, you know, different things, how the process is differently in different places, but I'm looking like, damn. You kill somebody, got 22 years. I know niggas that got caught with, you know what I'm saying, a couple of ounces of crack. You feel me? And they got way significantly more. You feel me?
Yeah.
Double the time. The next question is, you know what I'm saying, is do y'all think that this? Do y'all think this 22-year conviction for Derek is going to be used to chastise black people and saying the system can work?
What you mean?
Like Derek Chauvin's instance is proof that the system can work.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. They look for every example that they can. Obama was an example that the government wasn't racist, and that's a lie. Because how did y'all treat that nigga? You feel me? So it's like, yo, they gonna look for any opportunity to say, look, we got it right. And I think, again, when we talk about like the political theater, the larger conversation, this is a win for the Biden administration. Because y'all know how, like, when we talked about shit like all the bad shit that happened under Obama, right? Like, even though it didn't have shit to do with Obama, it happened under Obama. It happened under the culture of Obama. Mm-hmm. This is a win for the Biden administration because it speaks to the culture that his administration is ushering into policing. So now, okay, we can have a friendlier conversation about policing because what Derek Chauvin got 22 years, right? The George Floyd, and even though Breonna Taylor, them cops and all that shit, yeah, we saw how that shit turned out. George Floyd, right?
I see. This is why I don't know. This is why I say I don't know. I don't think this is as much for the Biden of a win for the Biden administration as some may assume or interpret, and that's because people are tired. And I think that the ability for the Biden administration to have wins like this, but also double down on increasing money and budgeting to federal budgets to policing, for there to be money earmarked and conversations talk about within the infrastructure bill about what policing starts to look like for communities and stuff like that. He's slipping and sliding a lot of stuff under the carpet that he figures we ain't really catching on to. But there has been support and justification from Joe Biden for the police from the beginning. So in terms of him being able to hail this as a victory, I don't think we get to put that in the Joe Biden column. That is in the column of the people, if anybody won from this situation. But I think we still have the level, and that's why I say people are too smart to fall for that, because we still have the level of disproportionality. Y'all, at the same, I don't know about y'all, but I went to protests. At the same protest, people was hollering George Floyd. You know what else they was hollering? Breonna Taylor, and who didn't get justice. People have not forgotten that. A lot of those marches and a lot of those rallies was two voices, two names hand in hand. It was whole portions of protests that I was at where it was all about Breonna Taylor. People made it clear that this is not just a one-off instance where we pissed off about George Floyd, but y'all keep doing it. Y'all keep doing it. What's homie's name up in Denver? Who Let the Cats? Played by
Elijah McClain.
Elijah McClain, right? It was about him. It was about so many other people. And so I don't think this just gets to be one-off earmark as something phenomenal or amazing. And I also dare to disagree with the idea that Dominique purported earlier, which is that this is not a precedent-setting action. How dare you? I mean, listen, I love you, but I disagree, because I do believe that when you create a framework for something, right, something that is replicatable, when you look at the objective functionality of something to work, when you have something that is put into concrete law, like that third degree murder law and how it worked in Minnesota, and you got pissed off people like what we got right now who are pushing for the literal defunding and abolition of the police, when they start to barter, okay, well, we can't defund the police, we can't do this, but what about what they're doing in Minnesota? That becomes a bargaining chip, because it is a framework and a template for what is possible, at least as some type of metric of accountability, because y'all won't slash our budgets and y'all won't fire niggas and y'all won't reallocate money over here to other services. So the least you can do is create laws and create some type of infrastructure for higher accountability. You won't get rid of implied immunity. So the least you can do is look at places like Minnesota to hold these officers accountable when they do some wild shit. So I dare to believe that it can set a precedent or become some type of template for what can be possible in other states. But that's just me.
I appreciate your daring attitude.
As you should.
But what? But what?
You're welcome.
And Papa say everything that come after butt is shit.
But unfortunately, when it comes to the reality of convicting these people, though, I think if all of these other states or cities, for example, had outlets to be able to be like, all right, this is what we're gonna use on these type of people, then I think they would. I feel like that was the problem, is that they have that release. Like the one group, they knew that they could get extra like this because anywhere else, the DA is like, yo, I mean, y'all really about to try to get me to get murder? Y'all want me to push murder? When you look at legally, like how that's defined under our law, they had a out, and it was an easy out. And it's not as easy in terms of, because it's a lot of times motherfuckers can get manslaughter, and whatever comes with manslaughter, that would have been it. But it's like, nah, there's a push for these murder charges. There's a push for charges that people want to put a malicious intent onto, but you gotta prove that. And that's the problem. When you able to replace fear, you know what I'm saying, or like that demonization, when you're able to replace criminalization with fear, you know what I'm saying? Like it's you able to do something different. That's literally the line between murder and manslaughter. And what they did in Minneapolis is they was like, you know what, we gonna slide something else in here real quick, which is technically everywhere else will be manslaughter, but we still gonna call it murder. I feel like it was an easy out.
It could be that. I just my approach and my only argument is that all the checker pieces need to be on the board, right? Like, so cool. You have to raise yourself or the charges to the standard of having to prove malicious intent. Okay, we'll get to work, but at least it's an option available to vindicate families and people whose people have been taken away from malicious acts of the law. Like shit. At the very beginning, they was like, okay, well, Derek Chauvin and George Floyd knew each other at the nightclub they used to work at. They was always funking. They was always beefing. Maybe they took some of that drama from the outside bar. Like, that was at least a possibility. That was an area of speculation that allowed for us to just have some type of rhyme and reason to understand it. So if that puts that type of theorization on the table, do it. Like, cool. I understand that maybe the possibilities of cruel optimism. Shout out to Lauren Berlant, who passed away recently, a famous scholar who talks, a philosopher who theorizes about things like epistemologies and ontologies, and talks a lot about the ways by which we participate sometimes in our own demise, or not really, but kind of unknowingly participate in it, because the same things that hurt us are the same things that pull us in or captivate us. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I'm not trying to be cruelly optimistic by saying if we put these laws out there that it'll magically start to get more police off the street.
I think it's more liberally optimistic. Liberally optimistic. It's not cruelly, it's liberally optimistic.
I just want to get my shout out to Berlant out there. But
shout out, yeah, without a doubt.
Definitely, you know what I'm saying? The possibilities. We need more.
Yeah.
Hey man, we're in wrapping this conversation off. It sounds like a lot of us were very excited for the conviction, but not as satisfied with the sentencing. Is there a way for us to resolve those two things?
Let's beat these comments real quick before we pop it off. A Third Beauty said it took an international rage for one country to charge one white man who murdered someone on multiple cameras. So that sounds like a Third Beauty don't really got a lot of hope for the capacity of the system to change just based off of this one conviction. Jada said it could be justice. It can't be justice if we ask George Floyd's family what they envision, and it's something that doesn't look like prison. Let me see. It can't be justice if we ask George Floyd's family what they envision, and it's something that doesn't look like prison. Break this down.
Right. I feel like what she's saying is it's like they saying it don't look like somebody going to jail. Justice in this instance would be George Floyd going home. I think this is an instance of justice denied.
Right.
It can't be. You know what I mean? And to include that into the question that George was asking, ultimately, when we talking about how these things are rectified, bro, this is the perfect example of what happens when there's a people who are deemed criminal, not their actions, but them. You feel me? And that's why, that's how we end up getting these situations, because it's always justified when you have a people that are deemed criminal. So
facts. Well, hey, that's the comments, Lee. Parting words.
Man, in our parting words, we know that we always try to celebrate our little temporal games, and we always try to celebrate, you feel me, when we can get good news. But I always want to remind us to never get too kind of consumed by celebrating the good news that we kind of forget about the reality that we in. I think that a lot of us were excited for the conviction of Derek Chauvin, but a lot of us were disappointed in the sentencing. And I think there's a way for us to kind of have a silver lining and keeping us conscious and invested in the policy making process, as well as like, you know, people go to that courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
As George Lee, you know, he got a lot of catchphrases these days, but he used to tell you don't get lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Now he's gonna tell you education's elevation, but still, I think
I'm gonna say it then. You know what I'm saying? I'm just you know, I'm fighting my little sleep right now. That little, I thought I was gonna be good for the whole hour. I guess that little
it's starting to kick in. It's starting to kick in. Yeah. You good though? We ain't gonna keep you too long, Lee. You getting it in. We ain't gonna keep you too long.
Matter of fact, let's go ahead and pop over into this other topic. I'm gonna go ahead and run into what we will call the family chop. Because I want to talk a little bit, and this should wake y'all up because y'all are fathers, and he's a father. We're gonna talk a little bit about our dear brother Nicholas Cannon. Now, you know, Nick Cannon been in the news for a bunch of different reasons. You know, everything from him being accused of being an anti-Semite to all of the just different entertainment avenues that he's had, and you know, that's hosting shows on NBC, hosting shows on MTV, just really out here getting the bag. But one of the things Nick Cannon has been very popularly known for here lately is being a daddy. And it's not just a regular old daddy like, oh, Nick Cannon got a baby or something like that. If y'all recall, way back like almost double-digit years ago, he had twins with Mariah Carey, right? But more specifically, currently, outside of those twins, Nick Cannon has 7 kids. And not just 7 kids, but 4 of which have been born or consummated created within the last 6 months with 3 different women.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
So Nick Cannon has 7 kids. He had 2 kids like probably 13 years ago with Mariah Carey. But since then, right, man's popped back and now he got 4 more kids within the last 6 months with 3 different women, which brings him to a grand total of 4 baby mamas, including Mariah Carey. So
interesting.
We out here with the Nick Cannon chops. Y'all as fathers. Here's my question to y'all. Right?
Hold on to you.
Yeah.
Ethereal Beauty said he named one of them. You lying.
Yeah, one of his kids' name is Zillionaire. No bullshit. And it's hella twins up in there. 2 sets of twins and 3 single kids. So yeah.
Y'all literally telling me that Nick Cannon named his child this man
and the rest of the kids got some real funky, you know what I'm saying, names as well. Like they not really, you know, standard names that you would have.
Continue with your question, Toya.
Okay. So, and I also want to bring this up because there's a justification, right? Some people might be like, what in the world would possess somebody to go do these things? Y'all heard the song Papa Was a Rolling Stone, so y'all familiar with the theory. But Nick's theory is that, you know, he has blood clots, so he already anticipates living a shorter life than other people, right? He knows or anticipates that he's going to die a little early. So he's just like, you know, be fruitful and multiply. He definitely believes that as a tenet of his faith. So he's like, I just want to have kids and enjoy the fact that I can do it. Now he's worth $30 million. So he got it.
Okay.
Right. But that's kind of the metrics, if you will, the specs for what his situation is. So y'all as fathers, 7 kids. And y'all, I mean, George, you got 2 kids, 2 little beautiful little babies.
I don't want no more.
You got 1.
I don't want no more.
Could y'all, even if you had the bread for it, say y'all got the bread, money is not an issue. Could y'all see yourself, knowing what y'all know about fatherhood, raising 7 different kids with 3 different women nowhere near across the United States? Do you feel like that's a realistic thing to do and be a good father?
Yeah, George, you've been at this longer than me.
Money's not an issue.
Hell no. Hell no, I don't. Nah, I don't know. First of all, even if I got Nick Cannon money, I'm not trying to have a whole bunch of kids just everywhere. That's the responsibilities that I have to take care of, regardless how much money I got. I'm good.
Yeah.
Second,
Nick
Cannon is like, I think that there has to be some type of a classist analysis for how we measure what it means to be a good dad.
Oh,
I think that if you get to be in a whole bunch of different areas, if you get to, you only can be in one space at one time.
Yeah,
talk about it.
Well, but if you have multiple households that you happen to, you know what I'm saying, take care of, and you can't spend time, T-I-M-E, at multiple, I just feel like, man, it seems like there's a lot of, I feel like it's a little classism going on with how we look at this shit. Don't get me wrong, kids got to be taken care of with some money, but goddamn, time and love is priceless. And it's just like, man, if you got to chase your career and get in the bag and being an NBC and doing Wild and Out and being up here with this baby mama and these kids, and going here with this baby mamas and this kids, and then going over here and trying to do the album, and then going over here and doing a movie, and then going over here and doing
nigga ain't doing no album, he ain't doing no movie. The last two shit.
But I think, but realistically, so Nick Cannon is an executive producer of things. You know what I'm saying? So even if he ain't doing it himself, like on the screen, he's still in the mix of different projects. It is unrealistic to spread yourself against that many, between that many people if you didn't have job. And notice I said job. Now imagine when you have jobs, jobs. Then you had to slide against between our different stuff. Kids. I gotta acknowledge Christopher in the comments cutting up. This nigga just said, I just found out Nick Cannon is actually my dad too. Wow. And Courtney Bryant says Zion Milox.
Mixolydian.
Yes, I've seen it phonetically written and couldn't remember what it said. And Powerful Queen are also two of the other children's names.
I remember that. I think we had a topic about that. I vaguely think we had a topic about Nick Cannon naming his daughter Powerful Queen, and we was like, "You goofy Nick." Like we had a topic about that. I remember it. But check this out.
Yeah.
First of all, like, and I want to use a sports phrase.
We got it.
The greatest. Nah. Hey, you see how George just do athletes? See, that's fucked up. The greatest ability is availability. That's the best thing you can do for your kids.
You saw that on the poster at the prenatal appointment.
No,
that's beautiful, bro.
It's a sports analogy because it actually speaks more to like athletes that get injured. Like, so how you know what I'm saying, you only as good as how like your ability to be on the court. That shit apply to fatherhood though. You feel me? You only as good as a father as your ability to be there when they need you. You feel me? Like to have like conversations to be normalized, right? To have a father normal. I mean, think about it. It's not that the stereotype around black men is not just that like, oh, that they broke. Not, you're not there. They're absent.
Yeah.
There are other things that pull them away from the home. My nigga, just because you can pay $100,000 a month in child support doesn't make you a good father. You're not there.
As somebody who like literally, and apparently this was an old school thing that niggas used to do back in the day. I didn't know, but talking to some friends of mine, I found out that it's a common tendency, I guess, for niggas to be like, if they have kids early, because my dad was 10 years older than my mama. So to have kids early, and then if you have kids too late, be like, yeah, I'm done raising kids. You good, you got it. And just to kind of move on. Now, he ended up paying child support. So my mama got some CPI, so, you know, some child support out the deal. But
them coins, nigga came
like,
out coins.
Being that stuff, knowing you, talking to you, phone calls, none of that. I didn't have any of those parts of the experience, but some child support was paid. You know what I'm saying? So on behalf of kids who got a little check, that shit don't do nothing. Don't help nobody. Yeah. When it's all said and done, when it come down to it, it don't.
Yeah.
It don't.
And that's why I'm just like, it's a phrase that's been used in the chat. It's irresponsible.
Yeah,
it's irresponsible, bro. Like it is no way that the whole purpose of the breaking generational curses is being there. But your father is around,
right?
When they trying to be racist to black people, like, you don't know your father, haha. Your daddy wasn't around, haha. Like, they gonna be like, yeah, they're like, well, my daddy a millionaire, but do you know that nigga? Like, that's like, you feel me? Like, that's a whole nother vibe. That's a whole nother dynamic. And I think that's like with Nick Cannon, and let me just say this real quick, because with him trying to be on that woke mission that he failed horribly at, by the way, this is another example of Nick Cannon failing at wokeness and how that turban and the Rizza Islam and the Professor Griff, the whole Canon class shit is a motherfucking fraud, nigga, because you being a fucking millionaire can't maintain a black home for black children, but you sitting around calling Jews and other groups of people whatever you want to go, like whatever y'all niggas decided to call them that got you canceled in the first fucking place. That's the problem with these niggas, bro. We put these niggas on these pedestals and they attempt to commercialize the shit that actually is supposed to be waking niggas up.
All right.
In your real life that's being displayed on TV and on the blogs, on the media, in your real motherfucking life, you can't set that example as a person. Go ahead.
Tony. A lot of the people, by the way, in that terms of not being able to set the example, are not black. Like the people that he's decided to have children with are like not even black women, right? So that also calls them to question the orientation toward the politic, depending on what that looks like, right? If you're supposed to be Black nation building, and leaving a lot of honors and legacies and stuff like that. Again, the merits of that up to you, but people have questions. A couple comments. Malik Rain says, all 3 of my kids are by my wife. Can't do no more baby mamas. Even when she leave, I ain't having no more. And that's if. We ain't gonna say when, possibly, but understandably so. Let's see. What's up to Khadijah in the chat? Authority Beauty says, so basically he believes he's gonna die early. So instead of working towards better health, he's just gonna have more kids. And like that's an interesting, question or speculation to have. Malcolm says irresponsible. I just can't even fathom having kids just to pass them off to somebody else. Noel says quality time is important, but when money like that comes into play, it can really mess with the kid or with the kiddo. Like if he, she, they is not given equal support or time, what will the kiddo take from that? Money brings a whole new level of politics that impact the kids, and especially when then kids expect money, and then you have to buy yourself in and out of conflicts with your child. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't imagine having to be like, oh, you pissed at me, and the only way I'm gonna fix it is if I give you a magic globe and tell you to shake it and pick a thing that you want. It'll pop out.
Lamborghini or some shit. I wanna address Chris' comment though, because he said,
and I was gonna get there too.
Yeah, he said, we probably should know exactly how Nick is involving himself in his kid's life before we fully break this down. I'm sure there are gaps, but I have no clue how rich people raise their kids, without a doubt. And I think that's fair and objective for you to make that statement. But check this out, Chris. Regardless of how Nick Cannon is attempting to manage 7 kids with 4 baby mamas, am I correct?
Yes.
Right. Regardless of how he's attempting to uniquely manage that in his own personal situation, that is not a standard that we should be applying to how we raise families. Period. It's I don't know if y'all heard that, but niggas is out here blowing shit up.
Happy
it's
4th.
Almost 4th of July. It's definitely 4th of July. The door is open. It's kind of hot. I don't want to turn the air conditioner on. Y'all know how that go. But in terms of the standard that we're supposed to be setting in terms like black families, like if we're breaking the generational curse is being there, like being in a home, not baby mamas. That's the curse. The language, the verbiage of baby mama is detrimental to how people understand black families. And that ain't even to say that everybody need to be getting married and not even none of that, but we talking about like familial structures. You feel me? Like what being there to be able to the everyday shit. Cause that's something that I'm learning. Like I'm like, yo, this nigga, it's every day. Every day from the time that you wake up and look over, like when I look over that nigga crib, when I look over my son's crib, I'm learning. But when I look over my son's crib every morning and we start that day and we getting into it like that, like that's something that can't be dismissed, ignored, or denied. And George knows.
Vince said the same thing. Vince said it, and Vince said the same thing.
Well, okay, so I guess here's my question then, because we can't. I will grant you all that we can't be critical of Nick Cannon because we don't know the level of presence. I still feel like it can't possibly be enough based on what Dominique just explained to me about the process and what Alicia just said about in terms of from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. Somebody's gonna be behind and disadvantaged in this. But just on the sheer level of baby mamas versus baby daddies, like women, that we have to kind of point out the just general, regardless of how on it women can be with their kids, no matter how many nice haircuts and hair pulled in neat ponytails and nice shoes and clothes that women have, if they got a bunch of baby daddies, they get clowned, they get talked bad about. And it's interesting to see the approach and the leniency and the leeway we having for Nick Cannon, when hands down a lot of people will look at women and be like, nah, you out here having hella kids, you ain't got no control of your situation, it don't matter, you unmarriable. What's his name? What's Kevin Samuels? Would probably berate a woman and say, but you're unmarriable. It doesn't matter if you have all your stuff together.
It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire. You got 7 kids, woman.
Yeah.
Ain't no man that you shouldn't be with.
High quality man gonna want a woman with 7 kids.
And let's speak to the fact that the women are the ones that's raising the kids. Think about it. Raising kids is an everyday thing. Every day. We don't have to know the specifics of how he chooses to spend time. You feel me? When you got 4 different women that you got to account for.
And look at all the other irons you got in the fire too, with being an executive producer and this show and that show, and being a manager over here and being a manager over there and being on this show. And it's like, man, it's just, you only get 24 hours in a day.
Yep. Only 24. You only get 24.
Now, there's a lot to be said about the merits of the parenting, but I want to slide out of the conversation by saying this in terms of this Nick Cannon Wilden topic, because he's not just wilding because he out here having kids with women. That's what people are placed on the earth to do, depending on what you believe, how you understand spirituality, your body, your purpose here on earth. You're gonna have some children. If you got money to take care of them, as Vance pointed out, the curse that we could potentially be more directly addressing is the curse of lack, right? Vance says that's the root of what being a baby mama is really about: lack of healthy relationships, lack of resources, lack of access. So if you have resolved the lack, Nick Cannon, then great for you. But here's where I want to leave the conversation with the criticism. People have started to notice the pattern for this last batch of mothers of his children. And that is that there could be a violation of power at hand. And I want to leave the conversation here by reminding y'all that the last few baby mamas he done had have worked for him. Some of them have been wilding out girls. I think 2 of the last 3 have been wilding out girls. And then one of them is Amy Delarose, I think, who is a DJ or a radio personality on his morning show or out here in the LA area, right? So you got, a potential, at best, kind of skeptical approach, a very curious approach Nick Cannon is taking toward the women that he's choosing to raise his kids, because it's all people he works with or that work for him. And
it's a fine line between this and Me Too.
Hey,
it's a very fine line.
When it's all said and done,
the power structure becomes muddled.
What he eat don't make me shit. The nights he got to stay up in emergency rooms, flying across the country, trying to figure out and untangle this baby and this health issue and this paternity issue or this custody issue. I'm gonna be asleep while he dealing with that. But when it's all said and done, we do have room to be curious about the model and the template. If we break in curses and start new templates and new frameworks for how we raising our kids and looking at what's possible,
come on, man.
The most important thing can't always be leaving your legacy on earth. Because what does that mean if niggas didn't get a chance to spend time with you to learn what that legacy is supposed to look like? But that's just me.
Didn't Floyd Mayweather say you can't raise your kids or you can't feed your kids with legacy?
Hey.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. We're not taking away from the fact that he probably is making sure these kids is fed, but it's like it's how we go about raising kids that addresses the generational curse. Not just whether or not you can feed them, but what does it mean for you to be there?
And raising on legacy, though, either shit. You can't just raise.
And I'm with Kevin. Kevin said when you have that much money, the maids end up raising the kids. The tutors end up raising the kids. And the question Kevin has is the question I have: where is HR in this matter? Now, before I close it out, Marco asked a question: what is y'all's response to men that use the fact that women typically win custody battles as proof that men are somehow oppressed? It's kind of not directly on topic, but we'll talk about it real quick. What is y'all response to men? What's y'all response to it? That use the fact that women typically win custody battles as proof that men are somehow oppressed.
It's a catch-22 because usually the same men that say that shit believe women are natural nurturers. So it's like you have to figure out some way to resolve this idea that because you believe that women are natural nurturers, that believe that men are oppressors, and then it's like men are oppressed, and then it's like if you don't believe that women are natural nurturers, which I don't believe, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I feel like people that usually come at it from this perspective usually have that sentiment somewhere,
right? Are situated. They typically situated in some type of stereotype around what men are supposed to do and around what women are supposed to do,
pretty much.
And so if you have a judge that's like, okay, well, yeah, we all think that women are the ones supposed to take care of the kids and the man is supposed to get the bacon. Well, I'm gonna give her the kids and I'm gonna give you the child support. That's based in the same stereotype that you operating out of. You feel me? So yeah, that's what niggas think of that.
Well, hey, we cleaned it up real good. Like Jana asked the question, how y'all feel about Chauvin sentencing? Jana, make sure you get on YouTube as soon as this is over and start from the beginning, because we talked about that in the Snapchat and definitely had a dope conversation about that. We slid over to talk about Nick Cannon, and now we sliding over to the last chop of the night. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to the plick. I got stuck for a second.
You know my name. But we ain't even talking about politics tonight. We talking about the BET Awards.
BET Awards. Oh my god.
Yeah, because I wanna talk about it because it was interesting. Me and my wife, when it came up, when I saw that the BET Awards was happening, I looked at her and was like, we're not watching that, right? Because she doesn't really care about these things until she sees that they're happening, and then she's like, yeah, I want to watch it. Good thing. That's why it's a good thing we got 2 TVs in the crib. So, because if it was, that's a whole nother thing. But it was a few things that came out of it that was big, that really had a lot of conversation going. You was either pissed or you was proud, depending on what's up.
It's a good way to put it. You
know what I'm saying, or somewhere in the middle. But before we get into the actual specifics of the BET Awards, I want to talk about BET in general, because I feel like when we were coming up, we're 90s kids, early 2000s adults. You feel me? Like we grew up. By the time 2010 hit, we was grown. You feel me? So we grew up in the 90s. We was becoming adults in the early 2000s. And BET meant something uniquely different back then than it does now. It meant something way different back then than it does now. So what was some of the things that made BET dope to y'all? Because one, you had to have cable. I know Toya had cable. Her mama worked for the school district, so she had money.
My mama worked for the city of Kansas City.
For the city. I knew it was either the school district or the city. I knew it was one of them.
You were.
But I want to start with Toya because I know she had cable. What was some of the? Well, you had cable at your grandma's house, George. Stop playing.
This nigga ain't shit.
What was some of the shit that stood out to you? What was dope about BET to you coming up?
What was dope about BET coming up? I think the variety of programming. I was alive when Teen Summit was on. I was alive when
Teen Summit. Stop playing. What y'all know about Teen Summit? Hits on the streets.
You know what I'm saying? Like hits from the streets. College Hill. It was just a variety. It was when BET was thriving, right? And so,
even fucking Baldwin Hills. Even
I think BET. It was BET News. Like it was they was competing with MTV News. You know what I'm saying? Kurt Loder and them used to pop on and what was
niggas
that?
We had Tavis Smiley.
Exactly.
On BET.
Right. And so I appreciated just the variety. You know what I'm saying? A lot of different stuff.
106 at fucking Park. 106.
If I didn't say it, 106. Yeah.
106 in Park was way better than TRL. Stop playing.
Agreed. Yeah. Agreed. And even for like the New Year, when they used to play the 100 hottest videos or songs for the
it was a P. It started with a P. What was it called? It was it was something, but they played 100 videos at the end of the year on New Year's Eve. They played the top 100 videos of the year, bro.
And this was back when I actually took the time out to watch music videos. Now Freestyle Friday used to be something crazy. Blind Fury, shout out to Blind Fury. That was
shout out to Blind Fury. I follow him on TikTok.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my heyday with BET. Just good times, watching great things, great memories. Running home after school to try to get caught up and being entertained all day long in a bunch of different ways.
George,
what about you, Lee?
Pretty much same experiences, man. I feel like growing up, BET was always cool because it captivated. I feel like the more raw, non-politically correct part of Black culture that was like good for the entertaining of Black people, by Black people, for Black people. And I think that they must change their shit. They start being like, we're going to give Black people what we think Black people should have through the perspective and lens of white people. Or we're going to give Black people what we think they want.
We're going to get to that.
With a little tad bit of respectability with it.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like they gotta get into. But I feel like that's what made that shit dope back then. BET Uncut, be able to see things like that, you know.
BET Uncut.
How could I forget? No, Comic View, nigga.
Comic
View.
I mean, DL Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer. Like, I mean, it's a list of niggas who was just made like from
Arnez J.
Arnez fucking J, bro. What is y'all talking about? Yeah, I'm telling you, like, BT coming to you, nice and weed, get your laugh on. Everybody, get your laugh on. Bro. That's what I'm saying. Like BT was just like when it came to like. When it like TV, it was black.
What do you think about? I feel like growing up, TV was a lot blacker than we realized. With like a lot
blacker
TV shows.
A lot blacker.
But no, I never talking about BET, so I'm leaving it BET. But
yeah,
realized today driving back from Texas, goddamn it, they're growing up. TV was a lot blacker than I realized.
I mean, I used to love the fact that BET got to be the hero for shows that got canceled on like UPN and shit. Like, remember when they saved the game? When we had an immediate ability to watch Girlfriends again. Jamie Foxx, and not new episodes, but still episodes that we had access to. The Jamie Foxx show, the Wayans brothers, Martin, like just kind of a consistent rotation of just good Black sitcoms.
BET was just, it was the vibe. Like when it came to like, again, Black comedy, Black music, you just blackness, like Black pranks, Black tea. It was just all like, it was a fucking even if we take it back further, we was really young when this shit was on. But what was like Video Soul?
Yeah,
you feel me? With damn, I'm mad. I can't remember his name right now. But
bro,
what say his name? With the hazel eyes, you know who I'm talking about?
Donnie Simpson.
Donnie Simpson.
You put me on the game show. I'm ready to win. Yeah, I promise you. His name is Donnie Simpson.
Donnie Simpson. You're right. It's Donnie. Yeah.
Too, and here's where I need your help. Sunday mornings, the only time in my house you was allowed to watch TV on Sunday mornings was if you was watching BT and watching what's the man's name? You know, the old Black man who
Cornelius.
No, his name is not. It's Frick. What is his name? The Black man he's a popular religious kind of person in the gospel community. That's just like an OG.
I know who you're talking about.
Older Black man, wear glasses, but that was the only thing we was allowed to watch. If the TV was gonna be on, it had to be him on there on Sunday mornings.
Right.
Not Ricky Smiley. I'm gonna think of it in a second and be mad. But BT had a heyday. You know what I'm saying? We definitely enjoyed that. And the time passed. As people have identified in the comments, BT got sold to Viacom. Bobby Jones. Come on, Marcel. What's up? That's why I love having the comments live, because I knew somebody was gonna hold out for me if I held it out. Bobby Jones gospel, baby. If it wasn't Bobby Jones, it was not playing.
Bobby Jones, yeah.
It was not playing.
It was a short stint when BET had like that early morning Saturday kids programming. You feel me? They played with some shit. You feel me? They was trying to get the Gullah Gullah Island and, you know what I'm saying, that type of vibe, but they ain't get there yet. But yeah, so like, man, when we was coming up, BET was really some Black shit. And at one point, it was Bob Johnson, right?
Yeah,
Bob Johnson.
Yeah, Bob Johnson. Bob Johnson sold BET a lot of money. He ate He ate that. Now I want to transition from that to when did y'all start realizing BET wasn't shit?
I started realizing.
I'm about to say for me, when they started showing,
hold on, not the infomercial though with the nigga screaming.
I can't remember his name right. Pastor Kearney, yes.
Pastor Kearney Thomas. Pastor Kearney Thomas was on J. Cole album, Boy and Sinner, his second album, bro. Like, yeah, you receive a miracle. Yeah. Like, yo, oh my god, yes, you know that's when you knew you was up too late. But go ahead, George.
You know, it was up too late. I feel like for me it's twofold. When I got old enough and learned and really understood the vulgarity of Tip Drill video and them sliding credit cards through asses and shit, really seeing that was crazy. I was like, man, they really ain't shit. Yeah. But then they started running like movies, and they'll run the same movie all week. And then like when you watch the movie, the cuss word to be like
Mickey Freaky
motherfucker, it'll be like
Mickey Freaky, bro. That's the first time I heard Mickey Freaky. I'm like, man, you stupid Mickey Freaky. And then the nigga voice change. It sounded like a completely different nigga. Bro, it's because see, to me, it's when they played fucking Holiday Heart 9 times in a row. I'm like, bro, I've seen this movie like 6 times. Every weekend I'm watching Holiday Heart. Every fucking weekend.
I got the bike holiday. It's a beautiful. Is it? I love me some Holiday Heart. That's a beautiful thing, but we don't need to watch it 15 times. I agree with Vance. When they took off AJ and Free, I was like, we all know good things. All good things have to come to an end. But I really hated
when that
was the end of an era.
What was that nigga? What was his name? The nigga that won Terrence J.
Terrence J and Roxy.
God.
And then it went to Bow Wow and Roxy, or Bow Wow and somebody else.
I hated Terrence J. Oh my, he was the worst.
I suffered through him for a couple evolutions, couple turns, couple spins.
That nigga was a contest winner. That nigga was a contest winner.
You gotta start from somewhere. You're not getting up on, like, you know what I'm saying? So that part of it I can appreciate. Terrence J was terrible, but I get the come up. You know what I'm saying? And how niggas had to slide through the back door. Like I do.
He's still on. I think he do like ETV or something now these days.
I think so too.
Yeah,
and AJ went and got, a job, I think, at E and did a whole separate thing, cut off the locks and had a little haircut and was, doing his commentary thing on it, some real. So people ate off of that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was dope.
And look, I'm not gonna. I'm in an attempt to not do too much. I'm going to say, as a young man, free. Free.
You stupid.
Hey, I'm just, bro. Like, nigga, I ain't gonna do too much, but free.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I would say, I think for me, losing them was a great sign, and I think as I got older and started really not knowing to call it the multiplicity of blackness, but recognizing that black people were like so many things and being like, ain't no cooking show, ain't no this, ain't no that. But here's the thing, it was though, because G Garvin, I think, used to have a show on there. So it used to, or Miss B Smith, it used to be a couple of people who had stuff on BT, and that kind of brings me to, and I don't want to transition out of nothing too quickly, but that brings me to this place where I wonder, I think BT has been in a conundrum that they haven't been able to figure out their way out of, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because partway, I think BT had different attempts to have diverse programming on there, and a lot of black people wasn't overly receptive to a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? That niggas didn't gravitate. The ratings wasn't there for it. But the other side of it was that I don't think they do enough work to stay the course and to continue to not be put into a box and be stereotypical.
They're pushing advertising
with the shit that they do provide. So there have been no redemptive moves to bring people back in, bring people back to the table, and really entice them and entice their appetite to watch and to sit on BET. So it's a failure on both sides. I think the viewers have failed BET, and I think BET have failed the viewers. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of weird ways, and so it sucks.
I agree with that wholeheartedly too, Toy. I agree with that wholeheartedly. It's a two-way street.
I think niggas have been
exactly. I mean, like, niggas really kind of didn't. We loved BET for what they gave us, but we didn't work with them. That was the problem. We didn't work with BET like we should have. But I want to transition that over because I don't want to stay too long on this conversation. Mm-hmm. But I do want to transition over to the actual BET Awards. Because I think for a long time, don't nobody give a fuck about the BET Awards.
Which is sad because once upon a time it was hot.
It was
BET Awards was the shit.
Yeah, it was it. But I think we've gotten to a point that it just doesn't have the it no more. You feel me? It just doesn't have like that. And so before we get into the controversy, what do y'all think the BET Awards is missing that doesn't do enough to bring us in? I got one more question after this.
I think the BET Awards is missing full-fledged, I won't say full-fledged support, but honestly, and I don't want to be as minimalistic as this because once upon a time she did, but people like Rihanna, people like Beyonce, a lot of important people who shape and round out the culture have opted out of these types of experiences, which devalues
and that's a part of the problem. Yeah.
Right. And so again, we become our own worst enemies when people have made the calculated kind of perception that ain't really, and they gonna show me love anyway. Beyonce can clean up at the BET Awards and never pull up. And not that she, she loved the people. She's for the people. She loved Black folks. So I'm not overriding Beyonce and Jay-Z's investment because I feel like they have been in the mix of it here lately. But I feel like between
people like that though, that are going and make it bad.
Yeah, the watering down and the gentrification of Viacom for everything that is BET just created a growth spurt in the product and the brand that they were never able to pull back from. We don't really bang with Monique no more, but she used to be a great host for the show and brought a lot of interest in, know, the shows have to grow and change and people age out of it and stuff like that. But I don't know, somewhere along this line, it just lost its captivation and appeal. And just like Black folks do, they start, let's not forget this part, right? And this is where we get back to bigger conversations about award shows. People start seeing BET Awards is not as good or as important or comparable to things like Grammys and to other accolades and awards.
Hell, even a fucking MTV Movie Awards, goddamn it, that shit got more prestige.
I think I dare to believe a Soul Train Award might hold more weight with people than getting the BET
Essence Awards.
Honestly, and so I think perceptually over time, and this has always been the case, even coming in as hot as the BET Award was, it wasn't no Grammy. It ain't no Grammy. And so we end up being in a place where we wasn't celebrating our people for our shit and our accolades and our platforms. And that has been the demise of Black stuff.
Yeah.
And don't ask me why.
I just got one more question after this, George. What you think is missing?
I think for the BET Awards, I feel like they missing like the host and they missing they don't promote and advertise it good enough no more. I think that they promoted and advertised it good on social media a little bit better and like being able to like stream it live, you know what I'm saying? Because I thought something that was just obvious to me watching this is that the audio quality of the performances was horrible to me. Like the audio quality, like just hearing them, it sounded like it didn't sound good. Like a lot of their performances to me, just the quality just didn't sound good. So it's like y'all step y'all game up, BET.
So you just feel, even like technically they ain't even execute the way that they should
execute it, man.
Yeah. So the last thing we'll get to, which is more of a response to, and that's the controversy associated with there were some major kisses involved in the BET Awards. So you had, I think it was like 3 niggas kissing, you know what I'm saying, on Lil Nas X performance, and then you had what's her name? Young Miami and Meg Thee Stallion kissing like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So what do y'all feel about, in terms of just give y'all 2 cents on the backlash? Because we've had conversations about how Lil Nas X approaches certain shit. And kind of how he triggers a lot of motherfuckers. What is y'all perspective on the backlash associated with these queer kisses, if you will?
I think this is one of the reasons why BET been losing. You feel me? It's been so steeped in ratchetness and respectability politics on like some binary shit that it seems like they always been able to weaponize it against Black LGBTQ people, because they also had some trans representations for the first time on BET Awards. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I feel like that's what that like the way that we already knew backlash was gonna happen from Lil Nas X kissing you know what I'm saying, no dude. The way we already knew homophobia was gonna happen, to me is just show why BET be losing, because they play in and pander into people's predispositions, kind of like the Shade Room do. You feel me? Set motherfuckers up just to be talked about. You know what I mean?
Because I know it's gonna be a conversation.
Yeah. That's why I fight. That's why I fight. That's my 2 cents on that.
I won't give too much to BET on that. I definitely think that is part of it, but you know, I think Lil Nas X is definitely on the campaign to let niggas know he's here, queer, and ready to be in the mix of every. So I'm, you know, certain that was just as much a part of the
here, queer, and making it clear.
Hello, somebody. You know what I'm saying? That this is it. Because even today, one of his tweets was like, "I have put y'all been on alert for 4 months, and y'all still falling the damn apart about me kissing the man on the screen. I just don't understand what the confusion is. We've been in this for the better part of a year, like a good quarter of a year now. You're surprised for what?" And he had a point there. You know what I'm saying? So all of that. Now, there are 2 sides to what I'm about to say about the Megan and Caresha kiss. I don't know why I keep calling her Caresha, please. The Young Miami kiss. And I'm gonna preface it by saying that because I understand what I'm saying, how it can be misinterpreted. Queerness, number one, and here's side one. Queerness does not have to be announced. You can kiss who you want to. You can kiss other women. You can kiss people and do what you want to with your sexuality, and it be unquestioned. You don't have to make an announcement about it. But what I also will say is that there is a habit and a tendency for a lot of non-queer people to do shit for the shock value. I think Lil Nas X shock value approach was grounded and rooted in a whole lot more change in the conversation, being
counter-hegemonic energy.
Exactly, being more counter-hegemonic. And then you have situations where you have Megan and Young Miami where they're not queer, they don't identify with those politics, they are clear when pressed about those things. Cardi's in a whole, Megan is in a whole relationship, heterosexual, like, and again, that does not invalidate queerness. I understand that. I preface my statement by saying that, but that's where it starts to get annoying. At least Nicki was bold enough to say, "Yeah, I'm bi," and then, you know what I'm saying, I acknowledged her sexuality. But you get women kissing, and it's just like, you got to remember that a huge part of sexualization and hypersexuality for women is to see them kiss, and that feeds into the fantasy, the heterosexual fantasies for men. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, I see it, I love it, I celebrate it, but I take it with a grain of salt only because I know that it's some bullshit agenda and shock value behind that shit too. It's cool. It's the cool thing to do.
Yeah, and that's definitely kind of plays into when we talk about that. Women kissing plays into a heteronormative, hypersexual aspect of the conversation that kind of goes against what Lil Nas X was kind of trying to hedge it, you know what I'm saying, trying to challenge. You feel me? Because you shouldn't have to look like Young M.A., you know what I'm saying, to like have your queer kiss be validated. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like Kehlani ain't the only person who, because a queer kiss with Young M.A. and a woman wouldn't have the same reaction than like 2 more feminine women would have kissing each other. Yeah,
exactly. And so Khadijah, you know, basically summed up what I was saying in essence. They got to stop the performative bisexuality. You know what I'm saying? It represents, I don't really identify as nothing. I'm definitely queer. I definitely just identify as, I like people who like, I don't like everybody who like me, but I like who like me. You know what I'm saying? I like good people. I like quality people and good personalities. That being said, you know what I'm saying? The hate be strong for people who are attracted to who they attracted to. And that's wild to me.
I'm going to say this, and we can get ready to close it out. The type of respect
in my head like a mug.
Yeah, you good, but we're gonna clear it up. We're gonna close it out. What bothers me the most about this is the way that this type of the normativity is normalized.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way that this backlash becomes a part of this larger conversation of quote unquote what we're teaching our children type shit. We've had conversations about how Lil Nas X, when he was talking about Old Town Road, y'all shouldn't have had y'all kids listening to that shit. No way.
Yeah.
But there's this narrative that's being pushed that Lil Nas X is attempting to turn your kids gay, pretty much. And what that does is it then justifies the type of violence that we see that plays out against young Black kids who identify as queer in any capacity. Yeah. We missed the opportunity to talk about what was the young man's name, Toya?
Tyler.
The young boy. Let me not even try. Let me not grow him any more than the young boy's name, Tyler. his older brother cutting bullshit into his head, cutting gay into his head, slapping him around on live, all that shit.
Yeah, I might have seen that viral video last week.
Yeah, that becomes justified because of the reaction that people have to what you see with Lil Nas X. And so while you have companies benefiting from the performance, from the shock value of it, like who really has to deal with the backlash of companies making money off of that is the young black kids that are attempting to deal with their sexual identity and the backlash that they get from their own community.
Yeah,
they get mad at Lil Nas X and then they beat up on their own kids. They beat up on their own family because they mad at Lil Nas X. They blame Lil Nas X and then take it out on the people that they supposed to care about, be there for, take care of, and love. And so that's where these things become dangerous, because like when Toya talks about like that performative bisexuality or even the performative queerness that sells tickets and gets ratings and gets views and all that other shit, there's another side to that.
The male gaze.
Right. There's another side to that becomes dangerous. And we saw that play out on a fucking YouTube live of a 12-year-old being beat on by his own family. Like, let's not forget that these things are connected in the sense that once that outrage, quote unquote, is justified, that backlash is going to impact the material life of a lot of motherfuckers. And that you know what I mean, that's you can't put a dollar sign on that. You know what I'm saying? You can't put no ratings on that.
Jalisa posed the question to you, Plug.
What'd she say?
Are you saying it should have been on there because people are assholes?
No, I'm definitely not saying it shouldn't have been on there. My criticism isn't of the performance itself, but how the response becomes justified. How people what people utilize to justify the violence that they carry out. And it's like, you know, you got to use whatever platform you can to get your message across or to represent what it is that you want to represent. Mm-hmm. But while we jump again, because there are people who will criticize Lil Nas X, but then they'll be like, that's fucked up what happened to Tyler. But you got to understand that when you justify that criticism, you end up justifying the violence that happens to young people like that. And my message is more to them, because I think there are people that are more so in the middle to where they would say, I disagree with what happened to what Lil Nas X was doing, but I also think what happened to Tyler is super fucked up. But if you justify your disagreement with Lil Nas X, it justifies what happened to Tyler.
Yeah,
that's what needs to be understood.
Hey, when it's all said and done, everybody would be helped out if they stop sexualizing kids. I think that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's always my motto. Stop sexualizing children. Understand, and if you're gonna do it, not even if you're gonna do it, stop sexualizing kids and understand every time you call somebody a boy, a little heartbreaker, tell him how handsome he is, talk about all the little boys and little girlfriends he might have at preschool or at kid, all of that shit is sexualizing kids and playing into that shit. And B, if those things wouldn't make him straight, if those things you've been teaching him and showing him repeatedly since he's been born has not conditioned him to be straight, thinking he's supposed to be showing up for female attention, thinking he's supposed to be handsome to other little girls or whatever, and he ends up being gay, guess what? Probably because he was going to be gay anyway. Because you've been conditioning him to be gay, calling him handsome, telling these little heartbreakers, saying he's going to get all the little girlfriends since he was little. And he didn't respond to that shit. So he was already on that path. There was nothing anybody could have done about it. Take that burden off of yourself. Relax a little bit and enjoy the damn award show.
Straight, man.
Enjoy the damn award show.
Yeah. So we miss BET. Bring it back. I don't think they can. I think it's lost. We don't need some new shit. We need some new shit. But yeah, you can go ahead and close it out, Toya. That's it for the Culture Child.
Hey, listen, we done talked about Derek Chauvin's 22.5-year sentence for the snap shop. 4th of July is happening around here, so excuse the fireworks and agitated puppy. But We didn't talk about Derek Chauvin in that sentence. We even had a conversation about Nick Cannon, aka Father Abraham, who had many sons and even many daughters. And then
Father Abraham, any sons?
Last but certainly not least, we have talked about the BET Awards, about the transformation and evolution of BET in all the wrong directions, and we talked about the queerness that was represented there and how we kind of feel like that resonated and impacts other real life situations like the terrorism of our young queer or potentially queer, might not even be queer, young people that we're raising up behind us. So a lot of things to think about, a lot of things to consider. If you didn't catch it all, don't worry about it. When we press in, it'll be available on YouTube. So go ahead and run it back. It's also going to be on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. It's up on Facebook. Y'all really can't miss us. Follow us at The Chop Up Show, at The Chop Up Show on Instagram. On Twitter is The Chop Up Show Pod, Chop Up Show Pod, at Chop Up Show Pod. And then shoot, from there, it's big love to y'all. We heading into July. 2021 is on the move. Okay? We sliding through these months. But shit, it's big love to y'all. Anything from the plug or consciously?
Hey, man, everybody stay hydrated. Get your rest. You feel me? As y'all can see, I'm real tired. I'm probably finna go to sleep right after this, man. But listen, stay hydrated and get your rest.
Real quick, I do got a debate on July 14th with separating, disrupt the impact of white supremacy. It's one of them separation. Should black people separate from America debates? It'll be an interesting one. Solar Vision Debate League on YouTube. Yeah, and follow me at The Political Plug. Y'all know what it is.
Absolutely. Y'all talking some real business in the chat. Definitely keep the conversation going. Make sure y'all press like or love and share this video before y'all get off of here real quick. Just show us some love. We need some more engagement. We appreciate y'all commenting. Appreciate y'all talking to us all night long. Pinky Promise Life, Malik, Thuria Beauty, Lines Time, Baby, Andrew, Abor, Sad Bean, shoot, Vance, you've been in the mix. Jaleese, you've been in the mix. Malcolm, thank y'all. Y'all been hollering at us. Khadijah, all of y'all, we show love to y'all because y'all show love to us. We about this thing. We see y'all next Monday and to the end.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all know how we do. We're going to end the show the way that we start the show. We out.
Me, my guys, we really live. Lord, forgive me, pay my tithes. Please don't have me reach inside. And that's in the console. Keep the semi when I ride. Lit off Henny when I drive. In the city, we